All right. Why do some young people become homeless?
I think there's a diversity of reasons why young people find themselves kind of living on the street and being homeless. I think the core three that we've seen in research and also in my clinical practice have been one, uh, deep family dysfunction, uh, whether it is according to the young person, not feeling safe, not feeling comfortable, not feeling heard, dealing with dynamics around siblings, around school, around parents. So just the complexity of messiness in the family that leads some young people to feel that their only option is to leave. A second core reason that we see a large population is that are on the streets is deep abuse within kind of family systems. So you have physical, emotional, spiritual, psychological abuse that is just untenable for the young person, and they flee. And then the third core dynamic, and it can be also interrelated to the other two, is deep poverty in family units, where you're struggling for just basic survival, and young people feeling that there are other ways that they can attempt to survive.
Very, very interesting. Yeah, the different causes of youth homelessness and what leads and in particular how some of these issues are interrelated.
And there, yeah, and a lot of, I think, as we'll see, like there's, a lot of these dynamics are deep. There's an intersectionality for sure, and like even that first note I mentioned, around just something happening in the family unit. It could be addiction dynamics with a member of the family. There could be mental health issues with a member of the family. There could be just not acceptance of the young person and what they're going through. We've seen a lot of narratives around young people dealing with sexual orientation issues and just not being accepted around that.
Right. Yeah, and there's often this misconception that young people become homeless just because they want to or because they're not necessarily appreciative of having a home and so I think you're right, it's interesting and important to highlight how complicated this relationship is. It's not
Yeah.
that it happens overnight or people just say, well, I think I'll leave. It's a process and there's a lot of factors behind it.
There's actually a very rational and deliberate and intentional process to exiting. And kind of, I did a study years ago, kind of a national study with young people on the streets in numerous cities, and we kind of framed out some of those processes, and a lot of that kind of, we call it kind of crossing the edge, and that initial thinking of how am I going to get through something, takes a lot of of inner thinking, talking to other people, weighing out one's options. There's a lot of deliberation that happens, and that the old adage that young people like are on the streets just because they don't want to listen to what their parents are saying, has been research over the last 20 years has really highlighted that is rarely the case. No one wants to be homeless.
Right.